Prime vs Prime, back today with a quick throwback review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers 2007 Leader Class Megatron. This is going to be a series of reviews where I review some of the older 2007 Transformers movie figures, and I may even review some of the older Revenge of the Fallen figures. So I thought I'd start off with Leader Class Megatron, as we've very recently got a brand new Leader Class Megatron. So this is Megatron in his jet mode. Now I don't have the packaging, as obviously this is a 10-year-old figure that got thrown years ago, but coming into the jet mode, as you can see, this is based on Megatron's jet mode that appeared in the very first Transformers live action film. This is his jet mode. Now it's a bit of a mess, to tell the truth. There's obviously quite a few gaps in this. It's not the best jet mode ever. It just doesn't really even look like an alien jet. It just looks very messed up, very jumbled. But I guess it kind of represents what Megatron looked like in the movie. For some closer details, you can see that some really nice sculpted in mechanical detail on the tips of the plane. We've got the nose cone of the plane, some of blue fade, which you will see more in robot mode. Coming up to the top, where the cockpit would be, we've got Megatron's head, quite obviously displayed here, hiding out behind this piece of plastic. The wings have got extreme undercarriage. This is just the entire leg of Megatron hiding out underneath the wing of the jet. Some more detailing of some panel lines, more of that blue fade metallic paint. Turning it around, more of the same on this side. Coming to the top, we've got a big black button, which I'll show you what it does in just a sec. We've got where the batteries are stored, kind of the engine of the ship, or the jet, you could say. This does take 2 AA batteries in order to activate the lights and sound gimmick. Yes, leader classes did used to have lights and sounds. To activate the lights and sounds, you have to push this button, and as you can hear, this is not a jet sound. This is actually kind of sounds like a velociraptor, to tell the truth. When that pushes, you will get the sound, and underneath he does light up. If I can, the lights are more for the robot mode, I would say. They are supposed to illuminate these red pieces when he's in robot mode. Yeah, so it's not the best feature on a figure. Other than that, there's not really much to talk about in jet mode. It's fairly big, but it does just look like a big mess. Some quick size comparisons. Here is the 2007 Leader Class Megatron when compared to the 2017 Leader Class Megatron. As you can see, Megatron has definitely changed within the last 10 years. Surprisingly, they are pretty much the same size in jet mode. If not, this newer one is a lot bigger, especially with the flame attachments, but without the flame attachments, they're roughly the same size. This Megatron is just slightly longer. It's roughly the same width, maybe a tiny little bit bigger. So in jet mode, overall, the newer one is a lot better. In terms of weight, the 2007 Megatron weighs a heck of a lot more than the newer, more fragile Leader Class Megatron. This one has definitely got a lot more heft to it than this one. Maybe because this has obviously got the electronic feature and the new ones don't. Also, the plastic on this feels a lot sturdier than the plastic on the new Leader Class Megatron. Worth noting, Megatron does have 4 wheels that are able to roll, 2 at the top of the arms and 2 at the lower parts of the arms. Doesn't really roll all too well, not that you'd want a jet to roll. The legs do restrict it, they don't go all the way up, so overall the wheels are a bit ineffective. Overall for jet mode, it's not bad, but it's by nowhere means good. It kind of resembles what Megatron looked like in the first movie. However, the carriage of the legs underneath the wings, the obvious head, and some of the gaps, also not everything clicks together. You know, these are very easily detached, as so are these underarms. Overall, the jet mode from me gets a 6 out of 10. Now, whilst I don't usually tend to show transformation in my videos, I thought that this would be worth noting, as this was part of an automorph line. I will show the automorph feature, so you had to rotate the head up, kind of lift it up, and as you brought the cockpit up, the wings would come in, and doesn't work the best, but the wings were supposed to fold inwards. Here we have Megatron in his robot mode. This is definitely the stronger out of the two modes, and it's actually a pretty good looking robot mode, very symmetrical, unlike some of the later Megatrons that come about, like the Revenge of the Fallen one. However, there is one problem I have with this figure, and it's the blue paint on it. It's just so jarring. It does not go with the overall look of Megatron. I know what they were trying to achieve in the movie. If you haven't seen it, Megatron is frozen in Antarctica, and the Sector 7 group also froze him to prevent him from ever awakening. However, he does obviously awaken. It's supposed to replicate ice on him. Doesn't really work all that well. I would have preferred it if they would have just gone with the plain grey plastic. There was a premium version that didn't have the blue, which I wish I would have gone. Turning to some features of Megatron, he does actually have quite a few gimmicks in this mode. So we'll get to this arm. What you have to do is there's a peg that will plug onto the inner forearm. You want to take it and plug that in. You can then move these arm pieces down, and then there's a little clear white tab that when you pull back, it will automatically pull out Megatron's gun that he uses in, or arm cannon that he uses in the final battle of the original Transformers 2007 movie. I do wish that it wasn't spring-loaded, as soon as you let go, it will just spring back. Would have been nice to have been able to keep it locked out. I do believe if you remove the springs, it will stay out, but to be honest, I'm not that fussed about it. The arm also has a very similar gimmick. If you take the hand and squidge it together like that and pull it out, you do reveal a Mace Weapon. Now, Megatron does have this in the movie when he's breaking out of the ice in the Sector 7 base. He uses this to smash up the restraints holding him in. There is a black tab here that if you pull back, it will whip the hand all the way around in some berserk motion. Pretty cool feature. Surprised they added it, and I'm surprised that the mechanism of it has lasted these 10 years. One final feature, he does have the lights and sounds gimmick. So in order to activate this, you have to make sure that the arms are down, because these things will pop up and they will bump into this and it won't work. What you do is you push this, pull this out, and as you can see, the chest transforms, opens up, two lights are shown, these red things flare out, and he makes the same Velociraptor dinosaur sound that we saw in jet mode. Not too sure why he makes that noise, I'm not too sure really why they added this feature in, as he does not do this in the movie. It's still pretty cool, but personally for me I prefer to just click them down. So articulation, Megatron has 0 articulation in the head if you tab it down. If you untab it, he does have a full working ball joint, however it does look a little bit unsightly as it's not actually supposed to move. The arms are on ratchet joints. They could do 360, but they bump into the wings. They can move out to the sides on a ratchet, they swivel at the bicep, and the elbows can bend on a ratchet, not 90 degrees, but it's enough. All the fingers, all 3 fingers are individually hinged. Same for this arm. The legs are on a ratchet, they can click forwards. They can click forwards. They could click back, but the back kibble does hinder this. it can kick out to the sides, but yet again, this rubber hinders it. He does bend at the knee, he does rotate at the upper thigh. No foot articulation other than some slight pivot due to transformation. So overall for articulation, it's not bad, but it's by nowhere near as good as some of the newer ones. Quick size comparison, here is the 2007 Leader Class Megatron compared to the 2017 Leader Class Megatron. As you can see there, in robot mode is a considerable difference, whereas in jet mode, this Megatron was obviously the bigger one. Here, the older Megatron is a lot bigger than the newer one. It's just a lot more massive, feels a lot more heavier, the plastic feels a lot better than the newer one. And considering that this is a lot more expensive than this when this came out, I think this was around 35 to 40 pounds when this came out. This retails for 65 pounds, so a massive increase. You're getting less plastic, no lights and sounds feature, and also the transformation on this is actually a little less complex than this one. As you can see at the head, this Megatron is a lot bigger. Just the overall size, this Megatron is definitely the bigger Megatron. What do I think of this figure? I think it's a very, very good looking Leader Class Megatron, especially for a 2007 toy. It's one of the better ones that have come out. It's not without its flaws, but it's a 10-year-old figure, and it's good to have a good look back at some of the older Transformers compared to the newer ones. You can definitely see the size difference and the quality in the plastic. I highly recommend this figure if you can pick it up. If you're a completionist for the first live-action Transformers movie, definitely, I highly recommend it. If you're not too fast, then, you know, maybe skip this one and get the Revenge of the Fallen Leader Megatron, or if you don't like that, then get the Last Light Megatron. I just think with this one, when it first came out, you got a lot more bang for your buck. Definitely a very good Megatron, not the best, but overall I recommend it. As an overall figure, I would say I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. The articulation is not the best, the jet mode is not the best, but the robot mode is definitely very solid, the plastic is solid, and the lights feature, while a bit useless, is nice to have. If you enjoyed this review and you want to see more of these throwback videos, please let me know down in the comment section below. Please like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.